Next thing you know, he disappears.
Every time we're on this thing, Coach, every time
I
he
get
does
it.
this to us.
So how's the team show? So what are you? Are you senior heavy, junior heavy?
No, not senior heavy at all.
Oh, that's
Um,
great. Okay.
I have four on the roster. One of which is a soccer kid who's our kicker. So I have three position players. Only two of those three guys start. Um, one's an offensive lineman and one's a wide receiver and a safety, and the rest is juniors and freshmen and sophomores.
Oh,
Um,
that's not bad. I mean, especially if you have some success getting to the playoffs with
yeah,
young team,
yep,
that can boost numbers and boost their morale for next year.
yeah. This is kind of I've said it. This is going to be go down as like the season of what if. Um, we had a we had a big group of guys that we thought would be playing for us this year, and for whatever reason, whether it be grades or jobs or girlfriends or whatever excuses they want to say, they didn't want to play. You know, we had five offensive linemen ready to come back to play, and we turn around and they're in the stands watching us play. So we've gone really young, and we didn't realize how young we were until we took yearbook photos, and they started calling us by class to get in the yearbook photo, and they call the seniors and a couple get into the photo, then they call the juniors, and those guys straggle in, and we turn around and there's still 20 dudes standing behind us,
Oh man.
waiting to get called into the picture. So yeah, those guys are working hard and they're learning, and we're excited with what we got.
Nice, nice. Yeah, it's tough with with a young team. I've done it. It gives you gray hair, that's for sure. But it helps you for the following year, though. Like if you can get some success, it builds morale in the school. The kids
Yep.
can, a lot of kids are like, "Oh wow, you're building a program. Here we come," and hopefully
Yep.
it works out for you that way.
Yeah, we were. I'm not gonna lie, we were a little concerned. We had a like registration and whatever was coming up in that first week, and the athletic director sent me an email and said, "Coach, you got 5 kids registered to play, and it's like August 1st."
Oh,
And I was like, "Well, we've had like 20 around all summer. They just haven't registered yet, I guess. Let me get on that and see." And then
yeah.
next thing I knew, we were up to right around 30, and we've been kind of hovering. We have like 34, 33 guys on good days. Bad days, you know how it goes. We're down to like 24, 25 guys on some practices. But, you know, it's a lot of guys who have never played football before. So
No.
it's one thing when you get freshmen that have played in the youth game a little bit and they at least have a little bit.
Yeah.
We've got like 15 freshmen, and 10 of them didn't know how to buckle their pads when we started. So, they're learning on the fly, and
Yeah.
they give us a lot of energy in practice, and they do their best. So that's all
That's
I can
all you
ask
can
for, really.
do. Yeah, you're gonna get one of them players that goes into school and just starts picking players. I
Yep.
had what was his name? Logan Hawes. He was outstanding. He went and got a lot of players, and I had to deal with first year players like
Yep.
Tyler Coates and Hunter Mumford and Hunter Adams, Daniel Brooks. But you need a guy like Logan Hawes to go in that school and just handpick players, and you
Yep.
never know what's going to happen. So good luck. Yeah, hopefully you can get that type of player to go in there and just make
Yeah.
negotiations and get some players.
We'll get there, I think. You know, we have the we have Noah Schwartz, who's our senior captain, but our other four captains that we're rolling out there this year are all juniors. So I've got four guys who are in leadership roles that'll be coming back.
Oh,
Um,
good.
and the eighth grade group for down in the Express, eighth grade and seventh grade, both have some pretty talented kids that are all North Smithfield kids. So I should have a nice little wave come through over the next 2 years. So we'll
Oh,
see.
now you don't co-op with Mount St. Joe's no more, huh?
No, Mount went full prep school. So I have one kid who's grandfathered in. Chris Petty's a sophomore for us. He's our starting linebacker and our fullback, and thank God we still have him for a few years. So
Is he grandfathered in? He's the last one, though, right?
Yeah, he's the last one grandfathered in, so he'll be the last Mount guy.
I heard that Moses Brown is contemplating going prep.
Yep.
What do you think about that?
I get when you go prep in all sports. So
once you go prep, you don't go back.
Nope. Once and you go all sports, right?
So, yes, it's all sports, right?
They're going to be successful in some, and some is going to be a struggle.
How about you, Coach Barton?
I don't know too much about Moses Brown, but if you want to go prep, go prep. All their sports are. I don't know if they're any good. I just don't even follow them. I follow football because obviously it's football. But I remember. Oh my God, what's the coach? He's in college now. Willie Edwards.
Willie Edwards, right?
Yeah, he built that program really well. I think they were in D4, and he kept winning and winning, and brought them to D1 before he ended up going to college. So I guess they could be, really good in football. Not to say that they're not, but I'm just saying that it seems like their best sport is football. So I don't know.
Interesting. As we look over some of the scores from this weekend, Tiverton had a close game with what's this co-op? I can't even, like, all the letters now. SPPCD. I think this is Sanchez. Okay. With Juanita Sanchez. Close game, 27-26. Tiverton, it looks like, is on a down year. Woonsocket beating Shea 42-6. Coach B-Ball, shout out to him. He needed this win, especially for the RPI points. Lincoln just opened up a can of you already know on Coventry. Someone said they seen Coach Cook there with a Coventry sweater on, and they said, "Hey, are you allowed to wear that?" And then they said, "Are you coming back? We need you."
Oh, stop it!
Are you coming back?
Anthony alone.
Oh,
we need you. We need you.
That's right.
That's what they thought Cook was showing up for. They thought he had the cape on, the Coventry cape. He come flying in. Why, he won't make a good superhero?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to give a big shout out to my boy Jimmy Cook. Got a first win of the season against Central Falls Friday. I know the struggles he has over there, so congratulations to him.
Yep,
you must have seen the reel. I had the Goodfellas reel with Henry Hill in the shower saying, "Jimmy."
I saw that. That was great. I love it. That's great.
Absolutely, man. Congratulations, Jimmy got the win. It could be enough to catapult him in the playoffs. We'll see.
The kids played hard, so this week should be really good for them for their practice. So see what happens.
When you don't get them victories and then you get one, how does it make the team feel? I mean, it must be a hell of a pickup.
Absolutely. I mean, it's hard showing up to practice every day, and you get less and less kids to do it, the less successful you are. So for teams that are struggling and they can keep their kids, that says a lot about kind of what's going on.
Yeah, when you struggle, it's tough. But one thing is, when you have a young team, and I want every player out there to understand this in Rhode Island, that if you have a young team, you have to be competitive. You have to come out and do the things that you don't normally do. It's gonna be a struggle, but if you're not doing good this year, you're setting yourself up for next year. That means you're going to gain the experience. You're going to gain everything that you need to set you up for a successful following season. So don't get too discouraged. That's why teams that are senior heavy, they're the ones that normally win, because some kids, they paid their dues and they got their licks in, as the previous couple of years. So as you gain more experience and confidence in the game, and I'm pretty sure Coach Pava will agree that it gets successful when you have a lot of seniors that's been in the system for a couple of years.
Yep. Seniors win, and I don't remember who told me, but someone years ago said for every freshman you start out there, it usually equals a loss. So, they have to learn, and it's usually by the fire, and it's big mistakes that hurt you. It's penalties. It's a home run ball over the top. And,
Yeah.
us as coaches, we tend to find the freshmen when they're on the field. So you try to sneak a freshman out there, I'm going to try to find them. We try to play a freshman out there, someone's going to find them. It's just the way it is.
I would have Coach Cameron. I know I messed his last name up. I'm just gonna call him my boy Hayden. He always looked for the freshmen. If they went in, he would tell me, Coach, freshman came in, and we
Yep.
would just attack that freshman because you're not really beating the coach. You're beating that 13, 14-year-old who just came into the game, and you're disguising some things to confuse them. So,
But then you have a kid like Sebastian Laura, or you have David Cummins over on Wesley that just comes in and surprises you and ends up, you always have them situations. So I kind of like when I see freshmen come in and they play good football and just surprise the hell out of everybody.
They do, but they're still a freshman.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I'll tell you, if you get a good freshman that comes in and controls everything. I had a freshman in my quarterback, Chris Catalino, beat out 3 other quarterbacks. Was a freshman and had a successful year as a freshman, sophomore, and he built within the system. And here we are, at the Super Bowl. So you do get some of them guys that diamond in the rough that can control the game, control the huddle. So I kind of got lucky with Chris Catalino and some of my other players that really stepped up. I went to the Super Bowl with sophomores and freshmen and first year seniors. So believe me, I think I was going gray back then.
I want to say also a big shout out to North Kingstown football program and the loss of Coach Joe Gilmartin, who passed away of a horrible fishing accident last week. So rest in peace to his family, all his friends, and I know that was a sad night up there at North Kingstown. And I'm just happy that North Kingstown was able to come out with the victory, even though some people call me an undercover Broncos fan. But I'm definitely happy to see North Kingstown on that particular night. In Division 1, it don't matter. You're playing for a seed and when everyone makes the playoffs. So, but to Joe Gilmartin's family, Hall of Fame coach, rest in peace. Our condolences.
Yeah, absolutely. Condolences to Coach and his family. I met him a couple of times on the football field. I don't know him that well, but what I remember him as a coach was he's always willing to talk football. So condolences to his family and friends.
Yep, I can echo the same thing. I didn't know him very well. Brief conversation here, brief conversation there, but I know what he meant to that program, and he built a great program in North Kingstown, and hopefully they keep it going with him kind of as a memory piece.
And I want to say a big shout out to the entire program up there. UMass Dartmouth just killing it. Dante got the Golden Helmet Award. He's about breaking every record up there at UMass Dartmouth, and Dante was a hidden gem. He was the diamond in the rough, and it worked out well for UMass Dartmouth. So shout out to Coach Barrow, shout out to Coach McCormick, all the coaches up there at UMass Dartmouth that makes that machine work.
UMass is killing it. They're killing it.
Love to see those guys keep rolling.
Yeah. I think I read they were the number 1 statistically offense in college football.
Oof, nice. Good for
and
that.
they're still not ranked, which is only because of an NCAA rule, which is kind of crazy. But shout out to what they are doing for sure.
Yeah, Ryan's building a good team out there.
Oh, absolutely. Look at some of these scores from this weekend, man. LaSalle and St. Ray's match, St. Ray's was, coming in. We the best team in high school football right now. Some people have to question the formula, but 17-7 was a pretty good game. And this is all going to play into the Division 1 numbers, because right now you got Bishop Hendricken, LaSalle, and St. Ray's Central as the top four. So right now they will be the state championship, finalist the way it's looking. But what a game! LaSalle and St. Ray's. I think Najee was down there at that game. Tolman and Mount Pleasant. Everybody been beating Mount Pleasant this year, and that's just not a Jay Addison team that I'm used to seeing. But Providence schools are all suffering, man. Inner city schools are suffering big time with enrollment. They closed up the transfer rules. So what do guys do to get kids to these inner city programs?
I have no idea.
I have no clue.
No
I
clue.
have no idea. It's got to be built like
With
brick
it?
by brick. But
How do you do that without the bricks?
I don't know how you do it without the resources in general. In order to get to kids to want to play, you're going to have to put some excitement and put some money into the programs, and it's just not there at the moment. So those are all tough jobs.
I mean, Central struggling, right? Mount Pleasant struggling. Hope is struggling.
But
That's why.
hold on. But you should be able to build within the system. Mount Pleasant is one of the largest public schools in Rhode Island. Central is not that far from it. So they got kids in the building. You just got to get in the building and get these kids that want to play football. So, and I'm sure both coaches do a great job doing that. But that's what you have to do first and foremost. Is you have to go inside the school and you have to get the players. Mount Pleasant, like I said, is one of the largest public schools in the state of Rhode Island. So he shouldn't have problems getting numbers. It's just, do these kids want to play football anymore? And I'm sure they do. Mount Pleasant not too long ago was really good. So, they'll be able to get back into the building and build that team up. Coach Washington Central. I mean, anytime that you hear Central, I'm always tuning into that game because of Coach Washington, especially when they play Hendricken in the South, because he's always up for them games. But we got large populations in the school, so to me, it's going to build it inside the school and make it the football school. That's just
Well, I know Mike Washington's working in the building, and I know if anyone's doing it, he's doing it. But you only got a 2-mile area to share with another school, and when the privates are talking all the good players out of there, so it's like, what do you do in these situations? In city schools, kids are not staying in school until they're 18. They end up going elsewhere doing other things. So I don't know what the answer is, but I know when they had a couple loopholes available, they were able to build programs a couple of years ago before RAIL said, "Oh no, we can't have no city schools with any angle to get a kid from another district in. Only the privates can do that."
I mean, think
private
about
schools can run wild.
2 years ago, it was what was it? Central was a penalty away from beating Hendricken. What was that 2 years ago? So it can be done, but you got to get the players that are within the building, and with a coaching staff like Washington has, you can build it. They just got to come out and play.
Yep.
And if you go on to YouTube, go to Team Dollar with an A, DOLLA. I think it's David versus Goliath. They actually have that episode on when Central and Hendricken play, and it comes down to the penalty at the end of the game. I think Central was going to go on and win that game. They came very, very close. You was at that game, Coach, right, Piva?
At that game, no. Nope.
Oh, okay. All right.
But
no,
I have seen that. I've seen that episode, and that whole series has been excellent.
Big question mark. Let's call it what it is. Big question mark. Let's put it out there, because you don't know. You can see both sides, but it's a big question mark. Big play in the game, a little controversy, and then you see what goes on. Public schools always, the private schools are always up one in the public schools. So when you see something like that, you really question it. I'm not saying one thing or another, but that was a big play, a big penalty at that moment. So, and that's the same year I think North Kingston knocked out LaSalle.
Yeah, same year. Yes.
Public schools in there.
Yeah, now that was a lot of the conversation, but it was definitely it's a great conversation to be had. But no, you're absolutely right. But Jeff, now what do you think about that series? You said it was pretty good, huh?
I've been watching it. I have thoroughly enjoyed an inside look into that program. It's a program that's vastly different from mine. Two complete opposite ends of the spectrum. So it's nice to see an inside look, and to see what that program's all about. I've loved watching it.
No, it is pretty good, and you had a chance to see it, right, Cliff?
I saw some of them. I just love coach's passion. You know, when he's talking to the players, he starts off nice and calm, and then he just his passion comes out, and I'm like, oh my god, I just love it. So I started watching that a couple of weeks ago, and I'm gonna make an announcement on your show. I've been going to a couple of high school games. I watched that show, and everybody knows that I've been going through a lot of personal stuff in the past couple of years. I put all that stuff behind me. So 2025, I'm coming back to coaching.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah.
nice. There we
Yeah,
go.
that video, watching this video, kind of just watching his passion. So I'm like, oh my god, it just started coming out of me, going to the football games again. So yeah, I'm gonna put my hat back in the ring, come back 2025, and just see what happens. We'll see. Maybe I'll be on the opposite side of Coach Papa. We'll have some fun.
We've had a couple of good ones.
Yeah, you know what I love? I love that practice that we had that one night.
That was great.
That was just it was great. I loved it. It was dark. It was the lights. We both were out there as head coaches, and it was
Yep.
it was really good. And then I
So
enjoyed it. Them are the little things that I miss. I'm missing the little things about football. So,
so that
the
was a
kid,
that was a JV game, right? Where
yeah, that's right. It was a
we talked
JV.
each other up. It was
Yep.
like, hey, come on down. We don't have the field, but we got a couple of spotlights. Like,
It's
it won't
not
be a
like
game. So it starts off as a JV contest, and then all of a sudden, your
Turning.
varsity guys started milling around. My varsity guys started milling around, and then it turned into a full team practice, and it was great.
It
It
was
was
it was
unbelievable.
Oh, I absolutely loved it. It was unbelievable, and that's what it is. That's what football brings out. So I started missing it, and I'm like, you know something, why not? I got a lot. I got a lot I can bring to a football team. A couple of coaches. I made the announcement during one of my stories. A couple of my coaches reached out and they're like, yep, they definitely want to come back on board. So, yeah, so we'll see what opens up. We'll see what's available, and let's get back to having some fun.
I'm gonna be the
That's
QB coach, and we're coming for you.
Come, let's go. Let's bring it.
nice.
And this was filmed by Evelyn Edits Darian Stubbs. Shout out to him. He does a great job. I met him up in Westerly when he was filming the episode with Westerly, and I told them, they asked me they said you always got something to say about everything. So what do you think about this? And I said it's great. I just think you should cut it down into 15-minute episodes, and it could actually last a full season, because not everyone has an hour, and this is very good. The passion he has, I love in the film room. He's like, hello,
Yeah,
But shout out to Coach Washington and Central Knights, and like their number 66 lineman. That dude is huge. He went
yeah.
up against Sermos against the St. Ray's game, and Emerson was officiating that, and he said, "Boy, them two boys went back and forth. What a game!"
That's it. So, but I'm gonna take off. But it's good to jump on. I know they asked me a couple times. I'm like, yeah. I haven't done it, so I
Well,
jumped
Cliff,
back on.
before you go, hang on. You was
Uh-oh.
at the Cranston East game. That 28-6
Yes.
blowout, and I
Yes.
don't blame them. Like that 28-6, good game for Jimmy Cook. Tell us a little bit about it, man. I know you said that there was a difference between the previous week, because you've been going to all your
I go to a
Jimmy's
few of his
games.
his, his home games because I live down the street. So I know that he unfortunately had to get rid of some players that just weren't coming to practice, and that's one of the things that his program's having is kids coming to practice and actually practicing. So once he got that young nucleus, they started buying into the program. What I saw this week was every coach's dream. It's like you see the pursuit, you see good tackling, you see kids keeping their leverage, you see kids reading their keys. When the guard pulls, you come through. You start seeing that as coaches. We see that's what we look for. We don't look for just as a fan, hey, it's a touchdown. We're looking at what linemen are doing. Central Falls is a fast team, so if they get to the outside, forget it, they're gone. So seeing Cranston East shut that down with leverage, seeing the pursuit come in from the backside, was great to see, and I was very happy for Coach Cook because he keeps teaching it. He keeps preaching it. This is what we have to do. But when you're dealing with a young team, it's gonna take a little while. And I saw a huge difference from 3 weeks ago because I didn't go to the Middletown game to what I saw Friday night. And shout out to the kids because they bought into the system. Shout out to the fans and Coach Cook and the staff. They really put something together, and it was good to see the improvement of the players.
Shout out Coach Cook, man. All right, Coach Fortin, man. Talk to you soon. Salute. Don't have too much fun. Have a little bit of fun, but we'll talk to you soon.
All righty, I'll talk to you.
Good to
Coach
see you,
Barber,
Coach.
good luck for the rest of the season, huh?
Good to see you.
Yeah, you too. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks, buddy.
All right.
Hey, Jeff, Friday Night Rivals. What was the experience of that?
It was good. It was good.